Hello everyone, today I want to talk about IndyCar, one of the most important and exciting racing series in the United States. A lot of people outside America mainly know Formula One, but IndyCar has its own long history, traditions, and unforgettable races that make it just as legendary in the world of motorsport. Um, the roots of IndyCar go back more than 100 years. The most famous race in the series, the, Indi- the Indianapolis 500, or simple the Indy 500, was first held in uh, 1911. Um, Imagine that over a century of racing tradition. From the very beginning, the Indy um, 500 was a huge event, drawing massive crowds, and it became a symbol of American motorsport. Even today, the Indy is considered one of the triple crown of motorsport, along with the Monaco Grand Prix in Formula One and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Winning all three is so rare that only one driver in history, Graham Hill, has ever done it. Now, what makes IndyCar unique is the variety of tracks. In Formula One, most races are on permanent circuits or street tracks, but in IndyCar, drivers compete on three types of tracks: oval, road courses, and street circuits. That means one week they might be racing at um, uh, 370 kilometers per hour on a massive oval like Indianapolis, and the next week they're fighting through tight corners on a downtown street circuit. This mix of racing styles makes IndyCar drivers some of the most uh, versatile in the world. The cars themselves are also very impressive. At first glance, they look a lot like Formula One cars. Single seat, open wheels, aerodynamic wings, but these are some big differences. For example, in the car use a more um, standardized chassis built by a company called Dallar, with engines supplied by Honda and Chevrolet. This creates closer racing because the performance gap between cars is much smaller than in Formula One. In other words, it's more about the driver skills and race strategy than about which team has the biggest budget. And of course, we can't talk about IndyCar without mentioning speed. On all tracks, these cars regularly reach over 230 miles per hour. Uh, the thing of 33 cars going side by side at those speeds during the Indy uh, 500 is absolutely breathtaking. It's not just about raw speed either. The drivers need insane levels of focus and bravery, because one mistake at these speeds can mean a massive crash. IndyCar has a rich history of legendary drivers. In the early years, names like AJ Folt, Mario Andretti, and Rick Mears dominated the sport. Each of them became not only champions but cultural icons. For example, Mario Andretti is still one of the most famous names in motorsport worldwide. Um, in modern times, drivers like Scott Dixon, Helio Castronovo's, and Dario Franchitti have carried the torch, winning multiple championship and Indy 5000s. So IndyCar might not always get the same international spotlight as Formula One, but it absolutely deserves respect. It represents the spirit of American racing, fast, brave, and built on tradition. And as long as the Indy 500 keeps running, IndyCar will always remain one of the greatest racing series in the world.